Hello, everybody. I would say good morning. That's when I'm recording this, but it might not be morning when you're watching it. So, happy time of the day to whatever time of the day you're in. Welcome to Module 3, where we're really going to just continue our discussion of differentiation strategies for gifted students. And before I move into what Module 3 is about, I want to give a kind of little shout out to something called the High Flyer. This is a blog that is published in partnership with the Fordham Institute and NAGC, or the National Association for Gifted Children. And I find that some of the blog posts are just really thought-provoking or interesting, or might be helpful for you as you continue your study in gifted education. So there's the website for it is right there, edexcellence.net/blog types/the High Flyer. Or I'm sure if you Google the High Flyer NAGC, one of the links will pop up, and I'll show you how to sign up for the High Flyer on the next screen. But some of the recent blog titles have been Acceleration Breaks the Poverty Cycle, At Least Encourage the Crazy Ones, How to Reward Our Highly Motivated Students, and Addressing the Gifted Gap, 3 Strategies. So that just gives you a little insight into what the blog is. So I thought this might be a helpful resource for some of you, and some of you might be interested. So to sign up for the, you can get it delivered to your inbox rather than always having to go back and check the site. But if you go to the website, on the right-hand scene, you'll see a sign up and a get updates button. If you click that get updates button, you'll be able to type in your email address and it will be delivered to your inbox. So that might be something of interest. All right, so just a quick review of Module 2. You looked at the presentation, Foundations for Effective Differentiation, which is kind of laying the groundwork for these, especially these next few weeks, but really this course. And it talked about the difference of differentiating content, process, product, and a little bit in terms of learning environment. And then differentiating content, process, and product by readiness, interest, and learning profile. So I hope that presentation, if you haven't thought about differentiation in those ways, and for some of you, you might be like eye rolling, oh my gosh, I've heard of differentiation so much. And to that, I apologize, but it's just the, when we are faced with our heterogeneous classes or our large class sizes, or even our AP classes, sometimes differentiation is still one of the most effective routes. And it just gives you a lot of options, right? Differentiation is kind of the framework or the lens through which you support your students. And how you differentiate, what types of things you do to differentiate, is what makes it, what makes you a good teacher, what makes the assignments interesting, what really serves the students. So you read a few chapters in the books, and then you looked at the Identifying Thinking Skills article, which is what you wrote your article review on. I'm looking forward to reading those. I will be grading them this week, and I will be updating your grade sheets accordingly. All right, so for Module 3, Continuing Differentiation, you're just going to be in your Teaching Gifted Kids book. Chapters, you have a few chapters 3 through 4 and 6 through 8. So chapters 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8. And again, these aren't heavy chapters. Some of the items you might be able to skim, but you need to familiarize yourself with these chapters. And some of the topics that are going to be in here are differentiating skill work, differentiating content area, talking about independent work strategies, which is going to give you a little taste of what we're going to do next week in Module 4 and in Module 5 in class. We'll talk about Bloom's taxonomy and grouping as a strategy to help you provide differentiation strategies. There's a quick little, it's not a blog post, it's a website page, this Wilson's Bloom Taxonomy Revised, in which it's talking about kind of the newer, updated Bloom's taxonomy that came around, I think, in the early 2000s. And so there's a little snippet of what that website looks like, and I'll discuss that on the next slide, just a little bit more detail. But no formal assignments this week. Take notes over some of the differentiation strategies in your text that you can adapt for your classroom. But know that some of these strategies that you are reading about are coming in assignments later on. So some of the strategies that we will do, or the assignments that we will do in class in Module 5, are based on this reading. So it is still important. I'm just trying to give you a little bit of a break in terms of when things are due versus the heavy reading weeks, just to kind of break that up. So that new Bloom's Taxonomy Revised, which you'll see on that little website, kind of takes that 1956 model where all of the different levels of thinking were represented as nouns, changed them to verb form, and then also kind of swapped this idea of synthesis and evaluation, so that evaluate is actually considered a lower thinking skill than actually creating something. And so what you'll do in one of your assignments next week is design a lesson plan that incorporates Bloom's taxonomy and demonstrate in what ways gifted students are served in that Bloom's taxonomy. So again, we would assume that doesn't necessarily mean that all students shouldn't be able to access all levels of Bloom's taxonomy. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that if there's a way that, just kind of thinking, are gifted students, if they're gifted in your content area, maybe able to really easily remember, understand, apply, and maybe even analyze. These lower thinking level strategies come really easy to them. And so in order to provide the appropriate level challenge, perhaps you're really getting into the analyzing, evaluating, and creating, whereas some of your other students may just need more of the remembering, understanding, applying, and analyzing in order to master the concept or master the material that you're working with in your classroom. So from there, just a quick look ahead that if you are planning to complete an exemplary project, do notify me by this module. So I'm going to say by the 18th, send me an email with what project you want to complete so I can prepare that for you. And then just a reminder of our course 3 dates. I will see you in person not next Monday, coming up, Monday, March 4th. It's not March yet, thank God. It's still February. So I'll see you in module 5. That's it. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you soon.